So Coles does comment on this one. And again, he slams him with regard to the inductive principle, right? Basically he says, how do you know what atoms did, thousands of years ago? You're just assuming based on that, right? So he says, Dr. Stein fails to take into account the lack of justification for the inductive principle. How does Stein know that until 15,000 years ago or so, atoms really could have done anything and everything based on the laws of science differing from how we understand them today, right? Just because this is the way we understand them today doesn't mean that necessarily you can go back 15,000 years or whatever and say they've always done this. Well, no, they do it now, but how do we know things weren't different? In fact, many cosmologists suggest that the universe may have been different at the beginning than we have today. Clearly it was. Although the latest pictures that we've gotten as we go further and further out doesn't seem to support that. And we don't have time to get into that, but apparently the latest view as we go further and further out in terms of our ability to see the universe, scientists expected to see newly forming, galaxies. And what they found was galaxies pretty much the same way they are right now, which kind of confirms creation, right? That there wasn't just these galaxies that put themselves together or whatever. No, they were already there the way they are right now. But anyway, we won't go too far into that. I think our good friend Jason Lyle has a video out on that. And so folks can take a look at that. He predicted that what they would find is what they found.
Wait, I was told creation science can't make predictions.
Yeah. He predicted months when they first did this. He put months before they found that's what they were going to find because God created the heavens and the earth. And so we would expect that what they would find was basically what we see today. But anyway, Stein, he says, fails to account for the lack of the justification for inductive principle. And he says, either way, life began with intentionality, intended creation, or non-intentionality, purely naturalistic processes apart from a higher being. And so as long as there's no mind ordering and ordaining and directing life, then the only alternative is nothing consciously directing it. And thus we have this unguided chance, random process that perhaps the chemicals could do anything. And so Stein may or may not be right with that claim. That's the idea that Stills is getting at.
We only have 115 different types of atomic structures in the universe. You would think that there'd be a few more carbons and hydrogen molecules that combine to form new life, and we should see this permeate throughout the entire galaxy, let alone all the other galaxies, let alone across the entire universe. So it seems odd that we're not finding these new lives continuously springing up even within our own perfect planet, but that's not the case.